are we talking about the impact of who should be leaving, who's going to be leaving?
Sure.
With who?
Yeah. Whatever.
All right. Salah's probably taking a large portion.
I think he is.
Yeah, I know you've heard that.
Take a few. Can you guess? You want to guess who's going with him?
I don't, because I'm wrong. D'Amico.
You think Gus Bradley will go with him? I think Gus will go.
Maybe.
Gus will go with him.
That's why I don't want to make this decision. I don't want to make this. I don't have information as to what they're thinking, so I'm speculating. But I think that there is a strong possibility that you'll see Salah go, McDaniel, a whole bunch of these guys, and I don't want to downplay what they do, because I think that they're super important to this team's success. The run game coordinator leaving, like you can't dispute. That's the one thing the 49ers on offense will be able to do, no matter who the quarterback is, pretty much.
Yeah.
You cannot next year, no matter who the quarterback is, take any step backward in the run game. You cannot. Not a chance. If that happens, it's death. It's death.
Now, luckily for the Niners, as they have great ideas in the run game, but Kittle makes all their ideas work, and as long as they have Kittle, they should be okay. All I'm saying. But I don't know. I mean, can Kittle play 16 games a season anymore? I don't know.
So, I mean, and that's another debate, right? The way Kittle plays so violently.
Yeah.
Right? We love Gronk, but Gronk wasn't always on the field 16 games, right? And I don't want to put this out there because I love Kittle so much, as a player, but I mean, it is a fair thought to say, man, is he going to be able to be around all 16 games? Like, he might be a lock to miss 2, 3, 4 games a year easily.
Yeah, and that's what he was kind of where he was at before he signed his deal and before he turned 28 or whatever he is. So, Kittle, if you're watching, sorry.
Kittle, please don't. I love you. Don't look. We'll talk offline. But
seriously, yeah.
So what do you think? Like, this is scaring me, honestly. The idea of McDaniels, all these guys possibly leaving, like this mass exodus of players might include coaches, and this team might look drastically different next year.
I know. I'm going to say what every Niner fan I think is thinking and unwilling to actually verbalize, because it sounds blasphemous. But the Niners are going to lose their best coach this offseason. And Kyle's very good, but Robert Saleh is unreal, because he's not only an excellent coordinator, I believe, and I could be wrong, but I believe he has the temperament, personality, and decision-making ability to be a Pete Carroll, Tony Dungy level defensive style head coach. And I can be wrong, but I feel like the Niners are letting a superstar leave their organization, and maybe Kyle will evolve into a superstar level head coach as well. But to me, it feels like 2017 Atlanta. And Kyle's better than Dan Quinn, no doubt. But geez, you're letting a superstar go, a superstar.
See, I'll disagree with you. I just don't think that that Kyle is. I mean, that Saleh is the best coach. Look, I think what you're talking about is that you're talking about like leader of men, right? Like I think you're talking about
and
like
decision making. Yes,
right? Like when you see him, like you see the team rally around him. I get that part, I do, but defensive coordinator and head coach is two different things, right? Like and can Saleh look. I have no
offensive coordinator and head coach.
Right. And I have no doubt in my mind that when Saleh walks in whatever room that he chooses, all those guys are going to be ears up looking right at him. And they're going to play for him. I have a tough time saying that he's a better coach than Kyle Shanahan for all the things that I said about Kyle Shanahan before. Same thing. Leader of men. You listen to the guys talk about him and all those things. That's my thing. And not to downplay that at all. When you listen to players talk about Robert Saleh, they think the same way, they say the same things. What I will give Saleh credit for is he has gotten better, much better.
He's grown every year.
Exactly, and that's what you want, right? Like, everybody expects coaches to immediately come in and be impactful, right? I think that the bar is skewed a little bit on that, right? Like, sometimes guys need personnel. Let's just make sure we put that out there, right? When he first got here, the personnel here was whatever on defense.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
But he's also this year, because of the injury to Sherman, he's had to change everything that he wanted to do last year. And this year, for me, is the better coaching job than last year.
Oh, no question. No question. Here, let me real quick with Saleh. I know it sounds blasphemous, but his defense has ranked higher than Shanahan's offense 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row. Even in 2019, when Jimmy Garoppolo played all 16 games, the defense ranked higher. They're both two of the best coordinators in the game. Let's put it that way. Kyle's an elite offensive coordinator. Saleh's an elite defensive coordinator, but as I said earlier, coordinators are idea people. That's not the skill when you're being a head coach. Head coaching is decision making. It's like the other side of the brain, creativity and analysis. It's the other side of the brain. And from what I see with Robert, he has it. He's the kind of guy who plans ahead, thinks ahead, makes smart, conscientious decisions. Kyle, I don't know what his decision-making process is. All I see is the results, and he's deficient. That's what I'm looking at. I love him as a coordinator. He's going to be one of the best in the league for the next 20, 25 years. Could become a good head coach too if he starts making better decisions. But I'm projecting on Saleh. I really think he's going to become a very wise. He seems like the wise chess player who's calculating risk, thinking 7 moves ahead. That's what I want in a head coach. But the problem with Saleh is the problem with every defensive coach. If he wins, he loses his offensive coordinator. And now you got to get a new guy. Right? And that's the problem. Look at McDermott in Buffalo. You're going to lose Dayball, dude. What are you going to look like next year?
And at the same time, while we talk about, Kyle Shanahan has problems with personnel, we don't know how Saleh is going to work with personnel.
We do not.
So again, I agree to disagree here. It's just my fear of the unknown is what would stop me from saying who's the better head coach.
Well, I didn't mean to sway you, and it's an impossible debate to win because this will take about 15 years to play itself.
Yeah, no, and honestly, at a point, you're kind of getting close to splitting hairs, right? Like that's how good of a job I think Saleh did. It's not insane to say what you're saying, right? Let's just say you're not saying that somebody like low on the rung is the best coach. You're saying one of the 2 best coaches on this team is the best, and you could make the argument. I have Kyle over Saleh.
Sure, fair enough. And again, my major point is that the coordinator job and the head coach job are almost opposites in a lot of ways. And being a good coordinator doesn't make you a good head coach. You're evaluating them on another rubric, basically. And we've seen Kyle with 4 years. We have 0 evidence with Saleh. How do you really argue it? We'll see.
Right. One more point that I'll make on Saleh too. While we love, what he did this year, week 1's game plan, that's horrible. The whole 13 yards off of Hopkins, so that's where he has some stuff to grow. Like I said, I love what he did this year.
Let's stick with that real quick. Let's stick with that.
Yeah. That first week game plan really baffles me.
Oh, no, it doesn't baffle me. I know exactly why they did it, because they played Richard freaking Sherman. Every time they played Richard Sherman this year, their defense was shaky because he limits what they could do. Week 1, they couldn't. I mean, they tried to put Emmanuel Mosley on DeAndre Hopkins man-to-man. That didn't work. Week 16, they put Jason Verrett on him. Boom, you give up 12 points. End of story. Again, the other bad game they had when they played, I was going to say Buffalo. Again, Richard Sherman on the field, playing zone. No one within 5 yards of these receivers. So he's
banged up. Sherman's calf and that Achilles is there. He really shouldn't have been out there this year. But Sherman, and you're not going to keep him off the field. And if Sherman says I'm ready to play, there's no way you can say I can't play you.
Well, a head coach has to. I mean, Pete Carroll would have. A strong head coach can make that. Pete Carroll got him the hell off that team maybe a few years too early for obvious reasons. He was becoming a malcontent in the locker room. He was making it him against Russell Wilson. You got to go, dude. Even if you're good. Anyway. I'm just saying, I feel like Richard Sherman lost them games this year. Going back to week 1, just him playing zone, covering grass while the quarterback just shreds everyone else on the defense. That doesn't help anyone. Getting him off the field changed the defense. I mean, yes, Saleh grew, but he got Jason Verrett. That's what helped him grow, right? You can run those fire zone. You can run those fire zone blitzes. You can leave. You can rush
guys
5
on an island, right?
You can rush 5.
Leave. Yeah. You never had to do that when Bosa was here. So now if you're talking about bringing Bosa back to this defense now with Verrett, if you can keep him, now you're talking about a man who's going to lock down and there's going to be no time for the quarterback. So I completely understand that. And also, again, back to the point about Sherman being injured, you can see him bailing. He's just backing up. He doesn't want to get beat. That's why the Cowboys game was the one that I really had problems with, because they were just hitting those comebacks. They're hitting those back shoulder throws. They're hitting their step and turning in the balls there because
it could be 3rd and 7 and he's playing 13 yards. It's 3rd and 7. Richard, you can't do that. Yeah.
He's banged up. He's banged up though. I got to look. What Sherman's done for this,
dude. He's washed up.
I don't know if he's washed though. I mean, all right, that's fine.